you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good.
So we talking about spanking today.
Okay, let's talk.
Yeah,
You hear the dogs?
just a little bit.
Those are the neighbors' dogs. Anyway, go ahead.
Um, do you believe in spanking? What's your thoughts on spanking?
Okay. I believe that you should do a spanking, you know, not all the time, but every once in a while, you might have to just, you know, get that little spanking in. You know, I don't believe in whooping your kids so hard to where you just kick them, the dog, whatever, without saying the words. I don't believe in those, because there's a difference between a spanking and a beating.
Yeah,
You don't need to beat your kids, you know, but I do believe in that. You should spank your kid every once, you know, and that's because, it says in the Bible, spare the rod, spare the child. Mm-mm.
yeah,
You need to be able to spank your kids. And I remember back in the day, then this is where they got out of hand. This is what I think, personally, when the schools were allowed to spank us
yes,
and
yes,
use
yes.
paddles,
Yep.
So I thought that got out of hand. And I think that's why, well, I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why they stopped it, but then also because parents, they just went overboard. It's like you don't have to go overboard, to get your point across,
Right.
you know.
Exactly.
And if they're really out of hand, then you don't really have any control over them. That means you just let them walk all over you, So, but that spanking, some kids adhere to it, some kids don't, you know.
Right.
And the kids that don't, it's probably because they're not really getting a spanking; they're getting a beating without the
Yeah.
communication involved. You don't
Right.
spank your kids and then just say, okay, it's all done and over with. No, you explain to them, you know, why you did what you did or why you're going to do what you're going to do, you know.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts?
You know, I think that a lot of people will spank in anger, and like they'll
Yes,
get mad and then they'll spank. Like
yes,
it's like an automatic thing.
yes.
And I think that's where adults need to learn how to control their own anger.
hmm
You know,
Like
you
calm themselves down before they
yeah,
even, right.
yeah. And if you tell a child, you go to your room, and when I get there, I'm going to give you a spanking.
hmm
You remember those days?
Yes, I remember them days. And it was like, oh gosh, putting some kind of padding on your butt, like a pillow, something.
We were so bad. We were so bad, girl. So if that anticipation is like almost enough enough punishment,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to also follow through.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot say I'm going to give you a spanking
And
and
don't,
then 5 minutes later don't do it.
right.
That's just like saying go to the corner or stand in the corner, um, but 5 minutes later, okay, you can come out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
No, they need to think
the,
about it.
yeah, the
So,
punishment has to fit the crime too.
exactly.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, so if your kid is running around with a knife playing
Ooh,
Pirates of the Caribbean or
ooh,
something,
girl.
thinking they're the pirate,
Right,
uh, you gotta catch them
right,
without getting stabbed,
right. Ooh, for
and
real.
then snatch that knife out of their hand. Tell them to go to their room because they're gonna get a spanking.
Okay.
And when you get there, explain it to them. Why they got in trouble? What was the reasoning behind the spanking? What is the reasoning behind the spanking?
Right.
I agree with that 100%. But
Yeah.
don't spank in anger.
No.
Calm yourself down first.
Earth. Exactly. Totally agree with that because I've seen people do that, and get in trouble for it. Had to go to jail.
Yeah,
You didn't whip your child so hard and Oh,
Yeah,
horrible. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I do believe in
It's
it. I believe that every once in a while you might have to just spank them.
yeah. And a lot of people think that spanking is horrible and it makes the child less, what do they call it? I can't think of the name of it, but their spirits go down or whatnot. And spanking doesn't do that. I got spankings, and
Yeah,
I'm stronger for it.
right,
And I know that the spankings that I got, I deserve them.
right. Same here.
I was a bad kid, but I learned from each one. I either learned how to do it better or learned how to not do it at all. So,
Right, exactly.
but yeah, I think spankings. I think they should be. I think as long as you're not spanking in anger, you should be spanking your child, um, just to get your point across. Punishments are good too. Like punishments are more for teenagers because I ain't chasing a teenager around with a belt. You know.
Right. Because by then, them teenagers is probably big enough to start fighting back, you
Yeah.
know?
So I would punishments, like 30 days, no TV, no whatever, no games,
Right.
stuff like that. You get into actual punishments. But spanking in the early age helps kind of guide your child into what they're going to be doing, good or bad.
I
And
agree.
you want them to know that we are not going to tolerate bad.
Right. Right.
So by the time they're teenagers, they know.
Yeah. But, I think that's a good question for YouTube, our YouTube viewers. What do you guys think? How do you feel about spankings? And let us know if you do spank your child or if you don't. What do you do? You know?
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if you have any comments, please leave them down below and we'll get back to you. But we'd love to hear from you no matter which way you go.
Right.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Have a great one. Bye.
Peace.